Welcome, dear friend. I am Paramahansa Yogananda, and I am deeply delighted to have you here with me on this journey of self-discovery and transformation. Today, we will explore something very special, something that can truly change your life. How to use Kriya Yoga to manifest true wealth and happiness. When we speak of wealth, we are not referring only to the material abundance we often seek in the external world. True wealth is that which is born from within, arising from the deep peace and harmony we can achieve when we connect with our divine essence. True happiness, likewise, is not an external pursuit, but an internal experience. It comes from the state of balance we achieve when we practice and surrender to our true nature, which is pure light and love. And this is exactly what Kriya Yoga offers us, a powerful tool for aligning our energy and creating the perfect conditions for prosperity in all areas of our lives. If you feel like you're searching for something more, a deeper meaning to your life, true fulfillment, and lasting happiness, then this video is for you. I'll guide you through the teachings I've shared over the years about Kriya Yoga, and how it can transform your life experience. But before we begin, I want to ask you to subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you'll not only be taking an important step toward your own transformation, but you'll also be connecting with a community of seekers who, like you, desire to expand their consciousness and experience the riches and joys of life more deeply. Now, breathe deeply. Immerse yourself in this moment of tranquility. Let's begin the journey of discovering your life's true purpose, a journey that begins within you. With the practice of Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga is a profound spiritual science, a path of self-transformation and self-knowledge. It is not a religion, but rather a universal technique that can be practiced by anyone, anywhere in the world, regardless of their beliefs or origins. The true essence of Kriya Yoga is the control of the vital energy, or prana, that circulates in our body and mind. This practice has ancient roots, dating back to the sages and masters of India, who revealed it as a way to accelerate the process of self-realization. Through Kriya Yoga, we learn to control our mind and energy, achieving a deeper connection with the divine source that resides within us. But how can this transform your life? The answer lies in the very energy we all possess. Every thought, every emotion, and even every action we take is fueled by this internal energy. When we can control and direct this energy correctly, we can create the ideal conditions for abundance and happiness to flow naturally. When you practice Kriya Yoga, you begin to realize that the true source of all blessings lies within you. The prosperity you so desperately seek, whether material or spiritual, begins with the alignment of this vital energy. The inner peace you feel during practice is not just a momentary state. It becomes part of who you are. It begins to be reflected in all areas of your life. Kriya Yoga helps clear the tensions and blockages we've accumulated over the years. It teaches us to transcend the limits of the mind and find true happiness in the present moment. As you connect with your divine energy, you begin to realize that there are no limits to what you can achieve, for you are a channel of unlimited creative energy. This internal transformation, fueled by the practice of Kriya Yoga, creates a solid foundation for manifesting everything you desire. Whether you desire prosperity, health, or even a life filled with peace, Kriya Yoga offers the key to opening these doors. Remember, true abundance begins within you. By practicing regularly, you will begin to notice a shift not only in your mental and emotional state, but also in your daily experiences. And this, dear friend, is just the beginning of your journey. Now, let's explore how Kriya Yoga affects the energy of the body and mind. Kriya Yoga is not just a physical or mental practice. It is a technique that works directly with the vital energy that circulates within each of us, an energy called prana. Prana is the life force that sustains all our physical, mental, and spiritual functions. When this energy flows freely within our body, we experience health, vitality, and a sense of deep balance. However, most of us live with energetic blockages, caused by stress, worry, fear, and even negative thought habits that hinder the natural flow of prana. This is where Kriya Yoga comes in. Through practicing this technique, we begin to learn to control the flow of prana, unblocking areas of the body and mind where this energy has been stagnant. Over time, as you master this art, you will experience a sense of lightness and vitality, as prana begins to flow more harmoniously and efficiently. When you sit down to practice Kriya Yoga, you begin with deep breathing. Each inhalation and exhalation serves to calm the mind and focus attention on the present moment. By directing your attention to the flow of your breath, you begin to feel the energy moving through your body. With practice, this energy concentrates in specific points, such as the chakras, the body's energy centers, allowing you to open and harmonize them. As you progress in your practice, Kriya Yoga goes beyond breathing. It allows you to access higher states of consciousness, where the mind becomes calm and centered. In this stillness, you begin to realize the power of your inner being, and the energy that was previously scattered begins to focus on creating a more abundant and fulfilling life. When you bring your energy into balance, your mind also calms. Negative thoughts and worries diminish as you begin to realize that true peace lies not in controlling the external world, but in controlling your own internal energy. This creates space for true happiness, which doesn't depend on external circumstances, but on your connection with your divine essence. This energetic transformation not only affects your health and physical well-being, but also your mind. You begin to become clearer in your thoughts, more focused in your intentions, and more confident in your actions. And, as a result, external conditions begin to reflect this inner peace and balance, manifesting as opportunities and prosperity in your life. Now that we understand how Kriya Yoga affects the energy of the body and mind, it's time to explore a vital connection for manifesting abundance and happiness: the relationship between your internal energy, mindset, and prosperity. Everything in the universe is energy. The very matter you see around you is a manifestation of energy. And what many don't realize is that the way you think and feel is also directly linked to the energy you radiate to the world. When you begin practicing Kriya Yoga, you not only learn to control your internal energy, but also to shape it according to your deepest desires. Your mindset plays a crucial role in manifesting prosperity. If you constantly see yourself as someone living in scarcity, whether of money, health, or happiness, it will be very difficult to attract what you desire. The energy you emit will be a vibration of lack, and the universe, by law, will reflect this lack back to you. But by practicing Kriya Yoga, you begin to realize that true abundance begins in your mind. Meditation helps silence thoughts of scarcity, allowing a new mindset to emerge. When you enter a state of deep peace during meditation, you begin to realize that prosperity is not something you seek outside of yourself, but something that is already within you, waiting to be revealed. This mindset shift is powerful. Through Kriya Yoga, you learn to replace limiting beliefs with beliefs of abundance. You begin to understand that wealth isn't something restricted to a select few, but something accessible to everyone, as true wealth is an energy that flows from your connection with the divine. Furthermore, Kriya Yoga also allows you to learn to focus your mind in a disciplined way. When you have mental clarity, you can make better decisions, act with more confidence, and be more open to the opportunities that arise in your life. A focused mind creates a powerful energy that attracts the ideal conditions for success. With an abundance mindset and the harmonious flow of energy from Kriya Yoga, you become an open channel for prosperity. Opportunities for financial, personal, and spiritual growth begin to align with your new state of being. It's not just what you do, but who you are that attracts the riches of the universe. Remember, prosperity doesn't begin with what you do externally, but with what you feel and think internally. When you connect with your true nature and begin to radiate this energy of abundance and confidence, the universe responds by bringing you everything you need for your full fulfillment. Faith is one of the most powerful forces we can cultivate on our spiritual journey. When we speak of faith, we are not referring to blind belief, but to a deep and unshakable trust in the divine process, in the energy of the universe, and, above all, in your ability to manifest what you desire. When you practice Kriya Yoga, you begin to realize that true abundance is not something you must strive for. Rather, it is the natural result of a connection with the divine source that resides within you. And this connection is fueled by faith. But what is faith, really? Faith is the trust that, regardless of external circumstances, the universe is always conspiring for your good. When you practice Kriya Yoga, you allow yourself to open your heart and mind to this trust. You begin to realize that you don't need to control everything or worry about the future. Instead, you begin to trust in the fluidity of the universe, knowing that everything you need is already on its way by divine right. Faith is not an abstract idea, but a force that manifests in our energy. When you truly believe in your ability to create a prosperous and happy life, that belief becomes a vibration you emit into the world. Kriya Yoga helps clear the doubts and fears that cloud this faith, allowing you to feel a deeper confidence in every step you take. The regular practice of meditation and breath control, typical of Kriya Yoga, is like an exercise for the mind and soul. With each breath, you begin to feel a growing confidence in life. With each meditation session, you open your heart more to the certainty that abundance is, in fact, within your reach. This kind of faith isn't about waiting for things to happen by chance, but about acting with confidence and hoping for the best. It's about knowing that what you're seeking is already in the process of manifesting. Kriya Yoga creates the tranquility necessary for this faith to take root deep within your soul. When you develop this trust, your energy changes. The energy of abundance you emit is powerful and magnetizes that which is rightfully yours. The universe responds to this vibration, bringing into your life not only material wealth, but also peace, love, and joy. Therefore, when practicing Kriya Yoga, always remember to nurture your faith. When you practice with faith, you become an open channel to receive all the blessings the universe has to offer. Have faith not only in Kriya Yoga, but in yourself, in your divine power, and in your ability to manifest all that you desire and deserve. Fear is one of the most powerful forces limiting our human potential. It can manifest itself in many forms, whether as fear of failure, rejection, losing what we have, or even fear of the unknown. Fear is an energy that feeds on doubt and uncertainty, and it's often what holds us back from moving toward our goals, our life purpose, and true prosperity. When you begin practicing Kriya Yoga, one of the first things you'll notice is how it can help dispel fear and anxiety. This is because Kriya Yoga works directly with your vital energy, the energy that keeps your mind, body, and spirit aligned and balanced. By practicing meditation and deep breathing, you begin to calm the incessant flow of thoughts and emotions that fuel fear. Each breath becomes an opportunity to release accumulated tension and stress. And, over time, you learn to recognize fear as an illusion of the mind, something that arises when we are disconnected from our true essence, which is divine, unshakable, and full of confidence. The moment you learn to calm your mind and body, you become able to observe fear without being consumed by it. Kriya Yoga doesn't instantly eliminate fear, but it provides a space of clarity where you can see fear for what it truly is, a negative energy that can be transformed. When you meditate and direct your attention to your breath, you begin to realize that true peace is within you, regardless of what happens around you. Meditation activates your connection with the divine, reminding you that you are not alone and that there is a universal force that sustains you, an unlimited source of love and wisdom you can draw upon at any time. Furthermore, Kriya Yoga also teaches you to live in the present moment. Fear often stems from our attachment to the future or regret about the past. When you focus on your breath and your inner being, you learn to live fully in the now, which eliminates anxiety and fear related to things that have not yet happened or that have already happened. The continued practice of Kriya Yoga creates a new perspective on life. As you become more aware of your inner energy and your connection to the divine, you begin to realize that there is nothing to fear. Fear is dispelled by the light of understanding. You begin to act with more confidence, making decisions with clarity, knowing that the energy you emit is more powerful than any obstacle that may arise. So, if you are facing fear, whatever it may be, remember, Kriya Yoga is a powerful tool for overcoming these limitations. By learning to control your mind and flow with divine energy, you can free yourself from fear and live a life of courage, peace, and prosperity. True prosperity and happiness come not from having more things, but from having more inner balance. In such a hectic world, with daily pressures and constant external demands, we often forget the most important thing: the balance between body, mind, and spirit. Kriya Yoga is a practice that brings precisely this balance. When you begin practicing regularly, you begin to realize that true harmony begins within you. Peace doesn't come from external factors. It arises when you connect with your deepest essence, which is pure, serene, and in complete harmony with the universe. The inner balance that Kriya Yoga provides is the foundation for manifesting true wealth. When you feel balanced, you make clearer decisions, act with confidence, and attract the right opportunities into your life. But what exactly is inner balance, and how does it reflect in your life? First, inner balance means having a state of mental calm, where the mind is not scattered or agitated. When you practice Kriya Yoga, you learn to discipline your mind and direct your thoughts to what is truly important. Regular meditation and breath control help reduce stress and anxiety, creating a more focused and centered mind. Furthermore, inner balance also means being in tune with your body. We're often so preoccupied with the outside world that we neglect the needs of our physical body. Kriya Yoga is not only a practice for the mind, but also for the body. Deep, controlled breathing during meditation strengthens the nervous system, improves circulation, and promotes a sense of vitality. When the body is in balance, you feel more energized, healthy, and at peace with yourself. However, balance also involves the spirit. Kriya Yoga helps restore our connection with the divine, with our true nature. It reminds us that we are spiritual beings, not limited to our earthly concerns. When we can connect with this spiritual dimension, we find a sense of purpose and clarity that transcends any physical or mental challenges we may face. When body, mind, and spirit are in balance, you become a more centered and strong person. The energy you emit into the world is one of harmony and peace, which naturally attracts the ideal conditions for prosperity and happiness. Inner balance creates a force field around you that not only protects you from external influences but also aligns you with the universal flow of abundance. Therefore, dear friend, remember that true wealth and happiness cannot be found outside of yourself. They begin with balance within, and by practicing Kriya Yoga with dedication, you begin to create this balance in all aspects of your life. You begin to realize that true abundance is a matter of internal alignment, and this is something you can cultivate every day. Now that we've discussed the powerful effects of Kriya Yoga on your energy, mindset, and prosperity, one of the most common questions is, how can I integrate this transformative practice into my daily life? The answer is simple. True spiritual practice happens in everyday life, in the small moments, in the rhythm of life. We often think that meditation or Kriya Yoga must be separate practices, requiring a secluded space and dedicated time. However, over the years, I've learned that the true effectiveness of Kriya Yoga comes when we integrate it into every aspect of our lives. It's not something we do only in quiet moments. It becomes a way of life. The first step is to begin a regular meditation practice, even if only for a few minutes a day. When you wake up in the morning, before getting caught up in the worries of the outside world, take time to connect with your breath. Breathe deeply, feel the energy flow within you, and allow your mind to calm down. This moment of silence creates a solid foundation for your day. Kriya Yoga can be practiced anywhere. No specific environment is necessary. You can practice deep breathing and meditation techniques while sitting in your car, on public transportation, or even during a break. At work, the key is to keep your mind focused on the present moment and aware of your breathing. This helps reduce stress and keep your energy balanced throughout the day. Furthermore, Kriya Yoga can also be integrated into simple daily activities. For example, while performing everyday tasks like walking, washing dishes, or working, you can practice what we call moving meditation. By focusing on your breathing during these activities, you begin to realize that meditation isn't something reserved only for sitting in silence, but something that can be experienced with every step. Another important aspect is the practice of gratitude. When you integrate Kriya Yoga into your life, you begin to develop a new perspective on what's important. Every moment, whether big or small, becomes an opportunity to feel gratitude. Be grateful for the breath you're taking, for your health, for the people around you, for the abundance that already exists in your life. Finally, remember that practicing Kriya Yoga isn't about being perfect or achieving a constant state of tranquility. It's about becoming more aware of your energy, more attentive to what's happening within you and around you. As you practice, you begin to integrate more peace, balance, and harmony into your actions, thoughts, and feelings. Therefore, dear friend, Kriya Yoga isn't something you do at a certain time of day and then abandon. It is a continuous practice, one that can be experienced with every breath, every action, and every thought. When you learn to integrate this practice into your daily life, you begin to experience true transformation, a life of constant peace, prosperity, and happiness. Kriya Yoga is not just a spiritual or mental practice. It has a profound and positive impact on our physical body and overall well-being. Health is the foundation for a full and prosperous life. and regular Kriya Yoga practice can be one of the keys to keeping your body and mind in perfect balance. When you begin practicing Kriya Yoga, one of the first things you notice is a feeling of deep relaxation. Kriya Yoga helps reduce stress, anxiety, and accumulated tension in your body. By controlling your breathing and directing your energy, you begin to notice how physical and mental tensions can be released, bringing a sense of lightness and vitality. The human body is a wonderful vehicle, and the vital energy that circulates through it prana's what sustains all physiological functions. When this energy flows freely, bodily functions become more balanced and efficient. Practicing Kriya Yoga helps unblock areas where prana may be stagnant, allowing it to move more freely and fluidly. One of the ways Kriya Yoga positively impacts physical health is through its influence on the nervous system. When you practice meditation and deep breathing, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which decreases the production of stress hormones like cortisol. This creates a state of deep relaxation, which lowers blood pressure, improves circulation, and strengthens the immune system. You begin to feel more energized and better able to cope with the challenges of everyday life. Furthermore, Kriya Yoga has a profound effect on your digestive system. Regular practice helps calm the nervous system, which also has a positive impact on digestion. When we are stressed or anxious, the digestive system tends to function more slowly and inefficiently. The meditation and breathing techniques of Kriya Yoga help restore balance to this system, promoting more effective digestion and an overall sense of well-being. On a mental and emotional level, Kriya Yoga is also a profoundly healing practice. It teaches us to release negative emotions, such as anger, fear, and resentment, which often manifests physically in our bodies. Through consistent practice, we begin to notice a shift. Our thoughts become more positive, our mind calms, and our ability to cope with emotional challenges increases. When body and mind are in balance, health naturally follows. Kriya Yoga not only strengthens the physical body but also connects us with a vital energy that promotes a sense of harmony and balance on all levels. When you begin to integrate this practice into your life, you realize that true health goes beyond the absence of disease. It is a continuous sense of vitality, inner peace, and mental clarity. Therefore, dear friend, the impact of Kriya Yoga on your health goes far beyond what you might initially realize. It is a complete path to well-being, nourishing not only your body, but also your mind and spirit. By taking care of your health with the daily practice of Kriya Yoga, you open the door to a longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life. We have reached the end of this journey, but remember, dear friend, that the true spiritual journey never ends. What we are doing here is not just sharing a set of teachings, but opening a door to continuous and profound transformation. The practice of Kriya Yoga is a tool you can use every day, not only to improve your life now, but to continually grow and evolve in all aspects of your being. Throughout this video, we've discussed how Kriya Yoga can help you manifest prosperity, health, balance, and happiness. We've shown how it works directly with your energy, balancing body, mind, and spirit. You've learned the importance of faith, overcoming fear, and connecting with your true essence, which will open doors to a fuller and more fulfilling life. But the real magic happens when you begin to practice. No matter how deeply you understand the teachings, Kriya Yoga needs to be lived, experienced in your body and mind. Daily practice is what will transform your life in a concrete and lasting way. As you dedicate more time to your practice, you'll begin to notice the sometimes subtle, sometimes more obvious changes in your life. Your worries will diminish, your confidence will increase, and you'll become more in tune with the abundance that surrounds you. Also, remember that there's no rush in your practice. Kriya Yoga is not a race, but a journey. Each breath, each meditation, is an opportunity to draw closer to your true divine nature. As you deepen your practice, your being becomes calmer, more balanced, and more radiant. This inner light begins to reflect in all aspects of your life, from your health to your relationships and achievements. Be patient with yourself. Changes don't happen overnight, but with dedication, Kriya Yoga will lead you to a state of deep peace and clarity. You will become more present, more attentive to what is truly important, and your life will align with what you seek: true prosperity, happiness, and a constant connection with divine energy. Now, as I conclude this video, I want to invite you once again to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is not just a gesture of support, but a way to commit to this journey of transformation. By subscribing, you become part of a community of spiritual seekers who, like you, are committed to living according to the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, creating more fulfilling and harmonious lives. May you continue to practice, grow, and transform your life. May the divine light illuminate your path, and may you find, in each moment, the peace that comes from within. May you always remember, true wealth and happiness are already within you, waiting to be manifested. Namaste.